Crypto incredibly boring right now, everything's slumping towards the downside, but this, if you've been in the game before, you'll know is the time to be accumulating the very best altcoins. And in this video, I'm going to be comparing different altcoins I'm looking at buying right now for the potential gains that we're going to see over the next couple of years. And if you hang around to the end of this video, I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm buying right now. So hit the like button and let's get into this video. Now guys, before we dive in and look at which coins we're going to be comparing, and I'm not going to be doing all of them because there is a lot and I don't have all the time in the world to do every single one, and I know neither do you. Let's just understand a little bit about what the situation is right now with crypto. Bitcoin slumping towards the downside, but I want to point something out. When we move very aggressively like this and we have this kind of chop and change, this does tend to indicate that this is obviously a manipulated move back into a buy zone, and we can see sitting ourselves in a kind of buy zone area through here right now. Yes, there is potential that we could reach this further down, but I do think that we're looking pretty healthy and the Bitcoin will eventually be looking to make a push like this, which means our time to be accumulating those altcoins is very limited indeed. So what we're looking at right now, we've got our 100x's down to our 5x's. I think that given the situation we're in right now, even the crappiest altcoins are still going to see a 4 or 5x. That's the beauty of crypto and looking at it where we're at right now. And you could be like, well, we know we're going to see further downside or whatever it is. All you have to realize is where we are right now means that we have much better upside potential than our potential for downside. So what? If everything slumps towards the downside, then yeah, we have an opportunity to accumulate for longer, but realistically, we're still at great value right now. That's all you've got to understand. So let's jump in and have a look at some of these different coins, because my opinion is sort of changing on all of these all of the time. So let's have a look, guys. First of all, we're going to take into account a few of our old favorites and what we sort of see with where they're going. Right now, I think Ethereum is going to see the earlier moves. And what's important, and if you're subscribed to this channel, you'll understand, is it's not really about buying these coins right now and holding them for 2 or 3 years, hoping that they're going to make us really rich, because they're probably not. The ones you've heard of that you're probably thinking about accumulating, and the ones I'm definitely accumulating right now, are not going to be making us rich with not much investment, because Ethereum on a very good day does a 10x. From here, market cap massive. Yes, it's incredibly expensive for fees and stuff, but it's still the main layer 1 of choice right now. No matter what you think, no matter what you've been told, Ethereum will still remain the daddy up there, but it's going to be doing a 10x. On that note, I think we're going to have Solana above it. And in fact, I think Solana potentially has a 50x in it. Now, that's not because Solana's better than Ethereum, although I do believe it is. But again, like Ethereum is building a very healthy ecosystem. There's loads of stuff going on. There's a huge amount of growth and stuff going on. And everyone's like, oh, you know, it's been hacked. It's got these faults with it. Guys, I understand this. I understand that maybe there are better functioning layer 1s out there than Ethereum and Solana. But still, you know, they will remain kind of the kings of their industry because they've been around the block. They have a lot of people who trust developing on them and all of that good stuff. Solana has, however, been punished towards the downside because it's been through a lot of bad stuff. And that means that its upside move potential is significantly bigger. Currently sat around $20. I think it's got a 50x in it, which would see it getting to around $400 per token. If Ethereum goes and does a 10x, $16,000 token, I think that's reasonable. Still, you know, Ethereum leading the roost in my opinion. Now, coming down below, there's other coins which I know people are desperate to hear about. XRP, you know, XRP has good opportunity to do some good things in the future, but actually really, I don't think, again, we're going to see a huge amount more growth in the next couple of years than maybe a 25x on XRP, mainly because it's got an enormous market cap. All of these kind of like price prediction potentials are sort of saying that we have to get an enormous, incredible amount of money flowing into cryptocurrency. And I just don't think that that's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years. And it's why these big coins, the likes of Ethereum and XRP, really can't be going bigger than 25x. And I think you've got false expectations as well of like 25x and thinking, oh, that's not much, because of what YouTubers use to sell you on videos all the time. 100x here, 1000x here. It's all very exciting stuff. but typically these coins are not going to be pushing that much bigger than 25x, 50x really, because of just like the limitation on the amount of money that is needed to really push them up. Because you've obviously got Bitcoin in there that's going to be coming in and probably doing a 5x, which is going to suck up a lot of that money, okay? So yeah, I know that probably upsets a lot of people, but you know, I can't really see a lot of these coins going significantly higher than that. Cardano, I think, is probably going to be sitting around a 10x off the grounds of, you know, it never seems to do anything particularly exciting, and it's in a very competitive space. And I do think that there are others that are going to be more exciting in that area. Another one that people love to hear about is HBar, and I'm also going to really upset probably a lot of people here by saying, I mean, on a good day, I think HBar is going to do potentially into a 50x. I mean, I'm struggling to whether I put it between 25x and a 50x. I think I'm going to leave it as a 50x. And for those of you who are down below going, oh, it's going to go to 100x or whatever, guys, you know, I want you to understand, yeah, it's incredibly fast, and yeah, it does all these great transactions, but it doesn't really make any money doing those transactions. And yeah, even if you suddenly have the mass adoption, it is starting to get mass adopted in terms of different companies and stuff that are partnering up with HBar. It's all very exciting things, but it's not going to do 100x in my opinion. What do I see down below? I've also got my eye on Engine, because Engine is, you know, has a pretty small market cap. It's also in the GameFi space. I think it had a good move in the last bull market, perhaps sort of not getting to where I anticipated it going. I think it underperformed, and I think given another chance, another roll of the dice, it's going to be pushing more aggressively during this next bull market. Now I come down below, guys, and you'll probably notice that there are not really any coins in here that I think really deserve to go up here. And why is that? Because all of these coins down below, and this is a really important lesson for now, all of these coins down below are already established coins. They've already been through a bull market, or they've already launched, and they've been around quite some time. So from the current position that they're in, 100x really isn't possible for many of these coins. But I'll tell you later on how you can get 100x out of the likes of XTC, which I think, again, is going to see a good bit of growth. But again, we're going to put XTC and both XLM in there around with XRP, ironically, because they all do very similar things. But again, you know, they're going to perform well, but I just can't see them growing enormously big. Maybe you could say XLM could slip up here if things go really well for it. What else have we got in here that's worth paying attention to? I want to talk about Filecoin. Filecoin, a very exciting project in my opinion. And again, you know, Filecoin, we will see, I think, a very good, exciting time up towards the kind of 50x's for Filecoin, because I'm very excited for the movement that's happening in China when it comes towards crypto. Hong Kong, China, and various moves that are happening around there. And there's a very big interest right now in Filecoin over there, and particularly with the development that we're seeing coming out of Beijing and into the Web3 marketplace. There's a few kind of coins that I think will see real benefit from that, Ethereum being another, and Filecoin definitely up in that space. Very exciting one, not often talked about, not necessarily the most exciting and sexy, but yeah, definitely something worth paying attention to. We've got ICP down here. I think, you know, with the potential to maybe do 10x, maybe even a 25x, currently sat around $4. It can potentially get to $100 at 25x. I think on ICP is an easy one. ICP, again, like Solana, has been trashed by, you know, bad rumors, bad things going around about it. But in my opinion, ICP is a very solid project with some very interesting tech, an amazing team behind it. And yeah, people get really upset and they're like, oh, it's an absolute scam coin because of this. If you go and understand about what happened to ICP when it launched and the FTX manipulation by Sam Bankman-Fried, then you'll understand that it was completely facilitated by the guy who's now in prison, Sam Bankman-Fried from FTX, because he was basically trying to defend his coin, which was Solana, one he heavily invested in, and basically just destroyed the reputation of ICP, which means it's heavily undervalued right now, when really it probably doesn't deserve to be. That's what we're looking for in these coins. That's why Solana is up here and probably doesn't deserve to be kind of so high up the list, but it's only there because it's operating way below its current worth, in my opinion. Of course, got Polygon. I think Polygon's also going to have another great run, guys. Loads of stuff going on with Polygon. Huge moves into the zero knowledge area. That's very, very exciting. I'm very excited for that. And guys, I could go on. There's like tons of other ones here. We've got Quant, I think good 10x. I know people are going to be like, oh, it should be higher up the list. Yeah, you know, it's going to be doing exciting things, but again, I'm just finding it hard to believe that many of these coins are going to go beyond that. But I want to point out that you should start to be looking at these coins in this area of the market as potentials to drive me to a point of which I'm going to be able to invest in the other coins later on. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's jump across. This is Solana right now, sat at around $20. And I'm just using this as an example, okay? I am very pro Solana, and I'll talk about that later on. But if you look at where Solana was before the last bull market, it sat here at around 65 cents. And then it went all the way up here to $250, which is basically like a 50x. Now, what I'm talking about right now is this didn't happen, or this right here on the chart, Solana was doing nothing. By this point, if you'd been in like Bitcoin and Ethereum, you would have already done like a 10x. So put this as a scenario. If I'm like, I would have put $1,000 in here, I made a 50x, then yeah, I get $50,000. But here's what I'm talking about and why it's so important to identify that you're not going to see necessarily life-changing money change here. Let's say I put in $1,000 and Ethereum did a 10x. I'm now selling at $10,000 and I put my $10,000 into Solana here, and then Solana does a 50x. Then I'm walking away with $500,000 from that original $1,000 from that 10x. What you need to understand is so many people are like heavily defending this coin and that coin, and they're like, I'm just going to buy this and hold this forever, when actually your best chance really is to know deep down and be all right with it that you might get a 25x or maybe, at a push a 50x from one of these coins, and that would be amazing. And then you can make your cash by changing them over into other things. And if we look at this path to altcoin season, this is very key to understand. Phase 1 into Bitcoin, then the money flows to Ethereum, 3 into the large caps, and then 4 into the alt season. Now, I know lots of people are like, I don't have the time to do this, and I don't have time to be buying and selling things. That's fine. I'm not saying you go and buy and sell things every single day, and I know lots of people get upset about tax and all that drama as well. But my point is that you can actually maybe buy some of these coins right now, and in like a year or a year and a half, or who knows exactly when the right time will be after you've made your 10x or 20x in the likes of HBar or Ethereum, start to take those profits and put them into coins that will be arriving in the phase 4 season, okay? The phase 4, the altcoin season, because that's when we're going to see the astronomical growth, after which you're going to see already that HBar and Kaspa and whatever have already started to slow down. And yes, I know Kaspa's new and hasn't been for a bull market, but it's already up 1,000% this year, which means that from there, it's already kind of pretty well established. You're not going to see the kind of astronomical growth unless you got in at the start of the year, in which case I commend you, but it's going to continue to grow for sure. But another 20, 30x maybe, you're not going to see 100x in Kaspa from here. In my opinion, I know that upsets people. That's fine. So what am I looking at right now? What am I personally buying right now? Well, there's a few things I've been looking at. And I want to show you, I know that Bitcoin's down here, but actually what we've seen is kind of better options in some of the other coins down there, where we're looking at like coins that are in buy zones. Now I've marked up regularly buy zones. We've got one here, Veracity looking really strong down in this area. And we've got also Solana, you can see has taken a slump. What I'm looking for them to have done, guys, is since these kind of peaks, they've pulled back a good like 40%. Something else you can see is knowing that at any point we could see a bounce in Bitcoin. If we see a bounce in Bitcoin, all these coins that have been in this accumulation zone like Solana right now are going to be looking really strong. Now, I've already told you that there's a handful of coins that I'm looking at, and actually you don't have to be that adventurous right now. Solana, I've already talked about being down because lots of people are sat there saying, it's crap, it doesn't deserve to go to the top. Actually, these are the coins that really are the worth ones looking at. The ones worth looking at. All the coins that everyone's super hyped up and excited about, they don't tend to see such an amazing upside. Look at this. XRP, I remember when it was in here, everyone's saying that if this positive news gets announced, then you're going to see continued upside and XRP is going to be worth like $50 in 6 months. And now it's literally down and it has been below where it was at the initial pump. You've got to understand that there's lots of people who are just using these tokens who've got a lot more money than us, who are just manipulating you to get the money out of it. That's all they're going to do. Every time it pumps, they're going to be pulling out the money. And these coins that no one's really talking about because, they're down in the dumps and people think are not so great right now, well, they're the ones that are probably going to be the slow growers and really going to see the most growth. I'm also looking into the likes of XLM right now, which has seen a very healthy pullback. all the way down about 37%. XDC, I've also seen a nice pullback on this, and we can see, yeah, I've marked up a buy zone. You can see it's actually even fallen below that buy zone, so I'll be looking to accumulate into this today. What am I looking at in terms of buy zones? You can see that where we've seen on the way up, we have kind of sideways action, pushes out of this zone, we come back, and then we push out. This shows me that this is an area of interest to be paying attention to. It's really not that difficult. But where I've seen the most growth this year and the most gains is actually in this coin, Tenet, and I've talked about this a few times on the channel because we had a pump, massive mad pump on launch where it went from all the way up here. It did 17x on the very first day, and then since then had a bit of a sell-off, and it's now accumulating around 60% down. We've had a break towards the upside, and while the other market is pretty much quiet, Tenet is slowly building towards the upside. Now, why did I make such a good gain on this? Well, I got into Tenet before the ICO, so I was actually able to accumulate Tenet down here for around 1 cent, or between 1 and 2 cents a token, and I was able to get out some profits. And now, currently to this day, from the very launch price, you can see I'm there about 7 or 8x up, which you won't be able to do in pretty much any other ICOs right now. ICO is the initial coin offering. How I made so much money on Tenet is I got in before the ICO, and most people can't do that because before the ICO is how the likes of Polygon Studios and Animoca Brands and Binance Labs buy tokens. And you don't have that ability. Until today, you actually now do, because through the Inner Circle Discord, not only will you be able to access all of the latest chart analysis and things like that from a group of trading experts, but also you'll be able to access pre-ICOs with us through the venture capital firm that's been set up in partnership with the Inner Circle. And we are literally raising for a project right now alongside Binance Labs and some other huge names in crypto that I can't mention on this video. But if you want to find out more about that, for just $9.99, you can get in through the link down below in the description. 5-day free trial. You'll be able to talk with like-minded people around the world. You'll be able to see different chart analysis on various different things. You'll know exactly what I'm buying and selling when I'm doing that. And as well as that, guys, you can get in and buy projects that are like Tenet pre-launch for a price, which means on the day of launch, you could be 20-30x up. It's an insane opportunity, and you won't be able to do that anywhere else. So get into the Inner Circle Discord, link down below in the description. Hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Something slightly different. Keep yourselves interested while the time in the market is extremely boring like it is now. Hit the like button, subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.